Now is the time to call to order the Government and Operations Oversight Committee meeting, Monday, July 1st, 2024. And the time is 5 p.m. Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Guzman.
Actually, for this committee, is Vice Chair Guzman, please.
Vice Chair Guzman.
Present. Thank you.
Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Alderman Felix.
Present.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Public comments at this time. Do we have a quorum? Do we have any public comments at this time? There be any? There are none. I need a first and second motion to approve the minutes of the Government Operations and Oversight Committee meeting held on June 3rd, 2024. All in favor?
I so move.
Aye.
You need a first.
A first?
So,
Who first?
I so move.
Second.
First by Alderman Guzman, second by Alderman Newsom. Pass. I need a first and second motion to approve a resolution approving a settlement and release of all claims for Police Department employee workers' compensation claim number 230524W021 for the amount not to exceed $67,000. I need a
I so move.
first by Alderman Guzman,
Second.
by Alderman Felix. None opposed. Roll call, please.
Any discussion?
Any discussion?
Discussion?
Are there any questions to the motion? There be none. Now we do roll call.
Vice Chair Guzman.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Felix.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Chair Bolton.
Aye. I need a first and second motion to approve the ordinance enacting a special curfew for persons under 18 for the Scoop de Loop. Scoop Waukegan, I apologize.
Alderman Bolton, I think we've skipped over B.
B, I'm so sorry. I need a first and second motion to approve a resolution approving a settlement and release for the claims Estacia
I'll make the motion.
and Stallworth versus City of Waukegan for the amount not to exceed $250,000. Any questions to this motion?
I'll make the motion.
First by Alderman Turner,
I'll second.
second by Alderman Guzman. Roll call, please.
Yeah, I'd like to have a question, please.
Question?
Yes. Mr. Weiss,
Yes, sir.
sorry, this is the first time in memory that I recall openly discussing a settlement on the floor. Why shouldn't we be talking about this in executive session?
If you'd like to go into executive
No,
session,
I'm
we absolutely
just
can.
question procedurally. I'm not challenging you the validity of it. I'm just asking why we talking about this here when in past we've always talked about.
Yeah.
these
Usually,
things.
what we've discussed is that when after a briefing, the automatic briefings, if there were further questions, we could put something on executive session. If that wasn't communicated properly, I apologize. And you could go into executive session if there are further questions at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other further questions? There be none. Roll call, please.
Vice Chairman Guzman.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Felix.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Chair Bolton.
Aye. Motion passed. I need a first and second motion to approve the ordinance enacting a special curfew for persons under 18 for Scoop Waukegan. Any questions to this motion? There be none. Roll call, please. First, is there a first?
I so move.
Second.
First by Alderman Guzman, second by Alderman Felix. Roll call, please.
What's the curfew? Is it 11 o'clock?
Curfews are broken down.
Do we know?
Yes. So the ordinance itself, I can read you what the ordinance says. This is the standard ordinance that's adopted each year for Scoop. This is for July 12th and July 13th. Persons younger than 14 years old, unaccompanied by a parent or guardian, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. So if you are unaccompanied and under 14, you need to be off the streets by 8 p.m. For persons who are between 14 and 16-year-old, unaccompanied by a parent or guardian, 9 p.m. is the curfew. And then persons between 16 and 18, unaccompanied by a parent or guardian, 10 p.m. None of these apply to minors who are accompanied by an adult.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any further questions? Roll call, please.
Vice Chairman Guzman,
Aye.
Alderman Newsome,
Aye.
Alderman Felix,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Chair Bolton.
Aye. Motion pass. I need a first and second motion to approve the resolution to approve master contract with Cyber Group for the peer review engineering services.
Chairman, you skipped D.
I did.
Chairman, we need to go back to the second Scoop the Loop item, which is the ordinance permitting alcoholic
I
beverages.
apologize.
And
Thank you.
enacting further regulation.
Yes. I need a first, I think I take these glasses off. I need a first and second motion to approve the ordinance to suspend Section 3-30A and D of the city code for Scoop Waukegan.
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
First by Alderman Turner, second by Alderman Guzman. Any questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Vice Chair Guzman,
Aye.
Alderman Felix,
Aye.
Alderman Newsome,
Nay.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Chair Bolton.
Aye. Thank you. I need a first and second motion to approve the resolution to approve master contract with Cyber Group for peer review engineering services. Can I get a first?
So moved.
Second.
First by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Guzman. Any question to the motion?
Yeah, I have a question, ma'am. Thank you. So this is for peer review of engineering services. So basically what we have is a contract, I think, with Robinson Engineering, and they do a drawing or a design or whatever engineering work they do. And now we're going to pay another organization to review their work. That's, yeah, I don't like that. And what peer review is like we are each other's peers, so we might review it. That would be an internal process, peer review, not an external process to include a competitor or potential competitor. So I think this is it's going to cost us a lot of money, and it's a wrong approach to reviewing any engineering services that can be done in-house by actual peers and not by yet another company. So we'd essentially, if we pass this, essentially we are having two engineering firms to create and do this engineering work. And it's too much money. It's going to be a cost burden on the taxpayers.
So I believe our attorney, Jesus, can maybe answer that.
I think our city attorney went to look for the city engineer.
Okay, thank you.
Well, since he's not here, let's just put this on hold for next one, because we're not going to wait. Let's finish it up.
While we're waiting, is there any other questions before we move on?
May I just make a procedural suggestion? You may want to just pause this item, move on to the rest of the agenda, and then come back to this item on this agenda before you finish committee. Engineer Alquicira was in a meeting. I know when I walked out of my office, he was in my conference room in a meeting with some folks, so he may just be tied up there temporarily.
Actually, this is the last item. So
Was there
Yes,
another
hold
item
on.
there?
they suspended the last,
Last item.
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I know they're looking for him. There he is. I held you up long enough. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes. No sense in rushing. Let's get clarification. Our engineer, come forth, yeah.
Good evening, City Council.
Can you repeat your question, Alderman Turner? Because I think it was a good point.
Alderman Turner, would you repeat your question again for engineering?
Thank you, Chairwoman. So, hey, Jesus, thanks for coming in. So I'm questioning this resolution to approve a master contract with Ciorba Group for peer review engineering services. And my statement was that my concern is that we are essentially hiring a second engineering firm. I mean, we're going to have two engineering firms, which is obviously an additional cost to the taxpayers. And peer reviews are not done. You don't hire an outside firm to do peer reviews. It's an internal process, so Robinson Engineering and your staff would do peer reviews, right? You give a guy a project, you say, hey, go draw some design, engineering design. He does that, and then he says, hey, coworker, can you peer review this? Or can Mr. Director, can you peer review it? He doesn't go out and solicit an outside, a third party yet to do that's not peer, that's a competitor's review of potentials. Does that make sense, what my concern is?
So yes and no. So for example, we have the consultants that do help us with capital design projects. You see your Robinsons, Baxter Woodmans. We have that surface line efforts, bridges that we're working with, culverts, all these items that we're trying to advance, sewer work. Now that's capital construction design. That's separate. Peer review assists our task order in the engineering department to complete development reviews. So we see a lot of reviews, whether it's small driveways, whether it's small to medium development, and then your large development. So one of the items that we hear from the community developers that our review process does take longer, especially for the larger ones. So in an effort to entice developers to come to the city, ensuring that once they submit for building permit, everything gets reviewed to a quality standard. That is the peer review. It's just to assist us in the engineering department to help expedite that process. And not all reviews go to them. So my staff works to review a lot of permits. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but we deal with your very small ones, driveways, sometimes apron extensions, pretty much the compliance that is required for all these developers to come in and work in the city. That's separate than your capital design review. So Ciorba will not be tasked with doing design work for those. It'll be to review the developments that come in the city and ensure that we give the developers the chance to expedite the process.
So I don't understand how that could be an expedited process when you're adding yet another level of design review. And as I stated, if you create a workflow and you ask your coworker or someone else inside, that's your peer. The peer is not an external party. That's not a peer review. That's an external party review. And you're doing two things. You're going to increase the time, add another bureaucratic hurdle for these developers, which are already complaining about how significant the timeline is to get permits and processing and all that, right? We all know that. So you're going to add another bureaucratic hurdle. You're going to add additional cost. And I don't know that it's going to serve any purpose. So.
Well, it's not another step. Understand we have to review the quality standards for the stormwater management ordinance with the sewer department, with the water department. We review all those. For larger developments, it takes more time. It takes more staff to provide the adequate review. Now, with this peer review, which is industry standard term, it may be not the one that we should use. If that's what you're going for, that's okay, we can change it. But yes, essentially, it's an extension of the review. We're not adding to the review process. In reality, we're actually taking away, because I am limited in staff. We're working items that the council has requested, and it's very limited. And right now, during construction season and permit season, we see a lot of developments. And we're trying to make sure that we follow the ordinances, that we coordinate with our other departments, whether it's Public Works, whether it's Building Department, or whether it's Planning and Zoning. So the larger reviews, again, just by the nature of being larger, do take time. So by not having an additional staff or an extension to that, then we're gonna keep adding to the timeline.
So how much would you estimate this additional expenditure is going to cost us, dollars?
That's a good question. So the watershed development ordinance does allow us to charge for peer reviews. And like I mentioned, we don't send all of them out. It's only a very handful, the ones that we know. Your major developments, typically the ones that go through the Planning and Zoning Commission, they get approved at the community development meeting, and therefore come to City Council. Those are your larger developments, right? Your Amazons, your big warehouses, anything that has to do with a lot of the infrastructure, just to ensure that we give the time to review. Those are the only ones.
So how much do you estimate it's going to cost city?
I don't have the numbers in front of me. I can get those for you of what we spent last year. It wasn't that much. I think it was less than 40. And also, in the watershed development ordinance, we have to charge our reviewers, and that's already covered there. So our peer review, our ordinance also allows for us to charge for review times, which includes 3 rounds, plus inspections, so that's already covered by their fee.
So when you say it allows us to charge, you mean charge the developer, charge the citizens, whomever who's applying?
Well,
for this?
it's only for the large reviews, Alderman Turner.
All right, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Alderman Newsome, I believe you had a question.
He answered, and I think this peer review that you're talking about is only going to be concentrating on the larger projects so that those developers can get their stuff through
That is correct.
quicker.
Yes.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Can I get a first and a second?
I think I already so moved on it.
Yeah, that
So
was
moved.
second, I think.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Vice Chair Guzman,
Aye.
Alderman Newsome,
Aye.
Alderman Felix,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
No.
Chair Bolton.
Aye. On.
Motion
Old-
carries.
Motion carries. Old business.
Chair Bolton, there was the rescission of a prior ordinance and approving an agreement with PH Senasac for sludge dewatering. Staff is requesting to pull that, and it'll be presented at the next meeting.
Yes, I was informed. Thank you.
And can I make one more clarification? I apologize. The item on the settlement was presented as the settlement was in the cost of $250,000. This is the settlement with in the Stallworth case. That is the total cost to the city. There is a settlement above and beyond that that is being paid for by insurance.
Thank you. Reports and communication. There be no documents listed under the report and communication. Now we'll have adjournment. I need a first and a second motion to adjourn
So moved.
at
Second.
5:19. First by Alderman Guzman, second by Alderman Newsome. Oh, it's vice versa. First by Alderman Newsome, second by Alderman Guzman. Thank you. Roll call, please. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.